Hey everyone, Chris here from Realridesharestories. On this channel, we do a lot of different things within the rideshare industry, whether it be tips and tricks for both passengers and drivers, what happens outside the vehicle on bad driving on camera compilations, as well as what happens inside the vehicle on actual rideshare rides. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. But before we get started, if you have a crazy Uber or Lyft experience, whether you're a passenger or a driver, record it, send it my way, and maybe we can feature you on the channel. All right, guys, I had a great story for you lined up today, but I'm actually going to push that back to later this week only because, I want to address a couple of things that I've seen in the comments as well as a couple of emails I got earlier today. That's issues that I saw about drivers who are worried about getting a low rating from a passenger or passengers who are doing something wrong and you're telling them that they can't do that. My thoughts on this is, who cares? If you get a low rating from a crappy passenger, who cares? One of the big things is Uber and Lyft do not rate you on one ride alone. Lyft rates you on the last 100 rides you've given. If you are a good driver, if your car is clean, your car smells okay or not at all, and you get them from point A to point B in a safe, good manner, you're probably going to get a 5-star rating from just about every single person. And then if there's any issues and you get a low rating, hey, guess what? They're going to get a low rating back either way because there's an altercation. But again, with Lyft, you get rated on the last 100 rides. So if you get a couple 1-star or lower star ratings on a vehicle, on a ride, doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't matter. And then one of the cool things about Lyft, though, even though it uses the last 100 rides, if your passengers don't rate you, it's an automatic 5-star rating. So if, say, 50 people out of the last 100 rides do not rate you, hey, guess what? That 50% that didn't rate you is all 5 stars. And then the 50% that did rate you probably is going to be mostly 5 stars. And if there's a problem, like I said, where you run the risk of having a crappy rating or a low rating from a crappy passenger, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect you. If you're a good driver, and like I say, you're getting them from point A to point B, your car's clean, everything's good, you're going to get more 5-star ratings than not. You're going to run into a few crappy passengers. It's just the way it's going to happen. Now, on Uber's side of things, they rate you for the last 500 rides. So it's even more that you're going to get good ratings just overall because that's just the way it is. Also, if you get the crappy rides or the crappy ratings, it has even less of an impact on you and your rating. So here's the thing. Yes, I have a 5-star rating with Lyft. That's cool, but I don't care if it's 5-star or not. I don't have a 5-star rating with Uber, and that's okay. It's a 4.94. And that's, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it, and you guys shouldn't be either. The biggest thing is that you should be paying attention to making sure you're getting people from point A to point B safely, as well as making sure that passengers are following the terms of services that are within Uber and Lyft. If you're operating in those terms of services and they're not, or they're trying to bend the rules or break the rules or even break the law, you got to tell them you can't do that. And if you risk getting a low rating from that, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Because again, most of the rides are going to be okay. They're not going to be a problem. But the biggest thing out of all of this is, you are a business owner. You are an independent contractor. That means you need to follow the rules according to what Uber and Lyft put forth, as well as the rules of the road with the laws. And passengers try to get you to break them all the time or scam the system or scam Uber or Lyft with many different things. And if you put your foot down and are okay with that, and then are okay with the fact that you are in charge versus the passenger, because the passengers are not in charge, you are. So make sure you are the one who is in control. And again, like I said, if you get a low rating because you're making sure the terms and services are followed as a passenger and a driver, don't worry about it. If anything, again, make a report. At the end of the ride, when you rate the passenger, you can also put in the report itself right there. So if they're trying to get more passengers in the vehicle, or if they tried bringing alcohol in the car, or whatever it might be, where they're just a crappy passenger that you think they're going to give you a low rating, put the reason in there why, whatever it might be. And then also, if you really feel inclined, you could call Uber or Lyft and make a report. Just so it is on file. And then if they do create a low rating, you could fight it because of whatever reason it is. But for the most part, it really doesn't matter if you get a low rating from a few people. It's going to happen. You're not going to keep a 5-star rating. To have a 5-star rating is great. It's good to strive for that. Don't get me wrong. I try to do my best that I can all the time. And one last thing that I can compare it to is, what business out there has 100% happiness in general? Not one. I couldn't think of one company, one business, one restaurant that has 100% complete satisfaction from every single customer that they have serviced. It's not going to happen. People are not going to be happy all of the time. They could have had an issue from something before. Maybe they didn't like what happened. It doesn't matter. The bulk majority will enjoy you, will rate you good, and will be a 5-star rating for you. So those few bad apples in there that rate low will not actually affect the whole bunch. It's not going to be a problem. So again, make sure you're in charge of the vehicle. Make sure you stay in line with the terms of services and especially the law, but always keeping safety in mind. Strive for 5, but be okay with not having 5. Always do your best. Just remember in the back of your mind, not everyone is going to enjoy your service or is going to have some issue, and that's going to be okay. So with that being said, guys, I hope you definitely understand that and definitely take the opportunity to allow yourself to not worry about the rating, but mostly and more importantly, worry about being safe and being in line with the terms of services and the law. That's the end of today's video. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you hit it. Also ring the bell for notifications. Give a good thumbs up for this video if you are going to not worry about the passenger rating as much now. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.